Hello, thanks for coming. My name is Antonina, and today I'll talk about Android support library, or rather libraries, because there are quite a few of them. Just a small agenda at the beginning. First of all, I will talk a bit when it all started, how it all started. Then what do we actually have in support library? When you should use particular library, also some interesting APIs, a few things that you should remember about, and some prognosis for the future, and useful links at the end. Okay, so when it all started, it actually all started in 2011 March, so quite long time ago. It started with the version 4 support library. It contained only fragments because it was the time when Honeycomb was released, and we had Gingerbread and Froyo as the main versions. And of course, many developers wanted to use fragments there as well. And actually, on Android developers blog, you still can find a blog post where they say that they release Android compatibility package. It was called like that at the beginning. And yes, it was quite small. It was just a single package, really just compatibility stuff, nothing else. On the third revision, we had version 13 support library. It was July. Then grid layout appeared 2 years later, almost time of, I guess, Jelly Bean. Then we had AppCompat, Media Router libraries, also the same year. And at the end of October 2011, we had a few widget libraries, like CardView, RecycleView, Palette library. So quite a long time ago. November 2014, Multidex, then Android Annotations, 1 year ago. Also in May, design support library with material design. And yeah, fall 2015, custom tabs, person support, a bit of preferences, all kinds of. And yeah, this year we received vector drawable. There is also animated vector drawable, as I guess Android team wants to force us to use vector drawables a bit more. Yes, that's pretty it. As you could see, there were a few of them. So it all started with just a support library really containing compatibility stuff, and then it developed in different kind of libraries. It all got divided into just many small libs that you can attach independently. Yes, actually this is just a screenshot. Choose library dependency, which you can open from project settings. And probably you can't read, but there are just a few of them, really, AppCompat, design, grid layout, and others. So first of all, what actually the support library contains? It contains backwards compatible APIs. It contains widget libraries like CardView, RecycleView, also design, material design, helper classes, I don't know, local broadcast receiver, things like that. Also bindings and annotations. They are considered to be a part of support library. Also we have leanback and wearable libraries, and also a testing framework. It is also considered to be a part of support library. So as you can see, there are different kind of stuff, and I wouldn't say like it is only one library and it is only for compatibility. It's just much more than that. When should I use a particular library? Android Annotations always. AppCompat depends on it. Actually, when you attach AppCompat library and you write extends fragment activity, you already have an annotation, not null or nullable, probably like that. Actually, I wanted to show you the code. Yes, so here I just had an annotation activity. Yes, this is just fragment activity, and I have one text view, and I have some model of employee, and here I use handlers. And it is really nice to have annotations here. For example, I just have employee handler which handles a message, and here I receive an employee object and want to show some employee information in my activity. And then so I call set employee result info, and it is annotated as main thread. And then I set text, and it is UI thread, so really handy. Here I have not used methods annotated with any thread, so it might be considered thread safe. You can call it from everywhere. And yeah, here I have some method annotated with working thread. It is called from the run method of my runable. Although it is not required to write this annotation, but here I just can see that, oh, this method should be called only from worker thread, or this method should be called from main thread or UI thread. And I think it's just really handy and more just easier to read. Also, employee contains it's not here. I just lost my it's here. Also, an employee contains a few annotations, like, for example, an int range for age, some really simple, like non-null. You can have color range, you can have float range, int range, things like that. So there are quite a few of those annotations, and they just make code really prettier. Yeah, int range here, for example, for getter. Yes, that's all that I wanted to show. Then you have design library for material design compliance, some animations. You should definitely use it if you want to make your application material design and just really, really beautiful, let's say. Person support if you're looking for an exact scale. Actually, Commonsware, he wrote a few articles regarding person support. Also, he has code examples with it, so take a look at those. But personally, I think you can use person support, for example, if you have displaying of images or video, and if you want to have it scaled, I don't know, 3:4 or 3:5, then you can set exact scale, and it will be pixel perfect, let's say. Custom tabs, more for web view applications on the website. If you open your website, you can define some tabs on the top and on the bottom. Grid layout, if the view is not very complex and can be divided into columns. I think that grid layout is pretty underestimated, and it is not so popular, but in few cases it is really, really nice to use. And here I also wanted to show some code example. I just wanted to also, for you to see the layout on the device while it's loading. I can just show you the layout. Sorry. So you can just, you just have a grid layout from version 7 support library. And there is really just this layout, and all views are inside this layout. So just one level of widgets. You have some text view, and then another text view, then the image which spans for 2 columns. Layout gravity is really important if you want to make it work. But yes, it will be really nice when you just see it. If you haven't used grid layout here, it will be quite difficult. You would have rather lots of below and to left, to right, if you would go with a relative layout. And then if you would like to go with a linear layout, you would have not one linear layout, but a few of them. So the solution wouldn't be so nice as with a grid layout. And here is this layout. As you can see, there is a text aligned to the left, then to the right, then the image, another image with the text, another image with the text, and just the text, which would occupy everything here. And it is all built just with a grid layout and nothing else, no more layouts, just views. So I think it's a really nice example, and you can also build different kinds of layouts with a grid layout. It shouldn't be just everything in columns and the same sizes. With span columns and span rows, you can modify it the way you want. Okay, also we have preferences plus support, just when you need preferences screen data binding. I myself don't use it, but a few people that I know use it, and they say it's good for forms and models. When you have just, for example, registration screen or some, I don't know, some polls, things like that. But you should be really careful with observables, some generic types there, because many people filed issues with that. Well, testing support's quite obvious. There is never too much tests, so just attach it when you need it. Also, there are a lot of utility classes in support library, like test, text util compat, sparse array, and they might be useful depending on the use case. Some interesting APIs: fragment commit now, commit the transaction synchronously. Actually, they say it is now more preferable to call it than commit. So I use it in a small, really simple example, and it worked just the same as commit. I will also show it to you in code just in a minute. App launch checker checks if the app was launched from a home screen or by some other intents. But it's not that obvious. When you read the description, you think that maybe it is. It says every time was the app launched from home screen or not, but it is just once. So, for example, if just once you you launched the app from the main screen, from the home screen, from a launcher, then it will always return true. And also. Here I have just an example of it. If the app was ever launched, started by launcher, and there is just this line, very important line. If you don't call it, then it will not work. And then you just call app launch checker has started from launcher, and if yes, then just append something. But there is really no magic here, so it is not something. It is not something new. As you can see, just a simple preference boolean key started from launcher, and here is false, but then if I call has started from launcher, then it just checks. If it started, then return yes or true, and otherwise false. So yeah, should be careful about that. Yes, UI mode, set night mode, gets the night mode, but always effective from API 2023, so not really compatible. They say that set night mode and get night mode, it works only for cars, on lower APIs, and only you can set it manually only from API 23. Also, there is some interesting stuff, like you can set swipe escape velocity, just tweak how hard to swipe the view. Might be interesting for tweaking animations and similar. Also, palette builder, set region. I think the usage of this might be really interesting, like, for example, image picker application. For example, you have you can take colors from the picture, but also you can define some small region, or for example, user taps and then you create a small rectangle and just get the color from there. Also in text input layout, really handy set counter enabled, something like Twitter has, or yes, also would be useful for different kinds of registration forms or other stuff. Something to remember about support library is that ProgArt must be used in a production build. I just created an application and then attached every support library that I could from Android Studio, and then it waited almost 2 and 6 megabytes instead of 77 kilobytes. But then with ProgArt it was just 1.5. Well, not a big size. If you have bigger applications, then attaching many small support libraries will not make a difference for you. Also, just attach library whenever you need some components, because support library is already has many small libraries. You can just pick something that you need and attach it. Also, look up for deprecated methods. It is not something new that I saw in Android documentation, also in overviews, in their examples, that they used deprecated methods. So just always look if it's deprecated or not, and then change it to not deprecated one. Also be careful with support library version updates, because some versions may contain bugs, and in exactly some class that you need to use, so always test it. Do not presume that everything will work with every update, because there are quite a lot of those updates. And also some things for the future, like we have support version 4, but version 4 is such an old version. Why do we even support it? So they will change it to API version 9. I don't know when, but probably really soon. The method count will be reduced. Also, there is less than 0.1% of devices running API lower than 9. Also, there will be fragmentation of version 4 support library. We will have many different small libraries there, because right now we have like almost 20 support libraries, and with this probably there will be like 30. Support accessibility, support content, fragments, everything will be just divided, because version 4 support is quite big now, so I don't think that anybody uses everything at all, everything from it. Also, I think that we will have more widget libraries like card view or recycle view or grid layout, because material design is not only about Android, it's about Google in general, and they have steppers, chips, expansion panels. Android team was really happy with announcing bottom sheets recently, and I think they will announce something new with the Android N release. So I think we can expect some new widget libraries with some fancy views. Some of those widgets may already be available, written by some random people, but Google will probably rewrite it and just enable it to us as a part of the support library. Yes, and also a few useful links at the end, some examples from Commonsware, the grid layout, binding libraries. So yes, and actually it is the end, so I want to ask if you have any questions to me. question was problems in data binding. I haven't used it actually, just really saw a few examples, but well, it was written like you can't really normally use it with just complex types, generics. There are just problems with it. So, okay, so thank you for coming.